The Miami Dolphins signed Jay Cutler. The NFL just can't quit this guy. And not only that, the Miami Dolphins out-leveraged themselves and competed against themselves, basically. And really, honestly, were competing against Fox Sports for the rights to Jay Cutler. The media, the NFL, they just can't quit the guy. And the Miami Dolphins gave Jay Cutler 10 million reasons to love playing quarterback again and to come back and be mediocre for the Miami Dolphins in 2017. Congratulations, Dolphins fans. You can have them. Good fucking luck to you. And I gotta say, for wishy-washy Jay here, leave it to him to say, no, I'm retired. I don't want to play anymore. It's time to move on to the next phase of my life. To where he allows Fox Sports to probably prepare him and train him for his upcoming role. They don't put anybody else in there. To have him a month before the season say, you know what? No, I'm actually good. I'm going to put this on the back burner for another year. You guys figure it out on your own. That's the type of integrity and leadership you get out of Jay Cutler. And I think it's magnificent. He was able to con somebody again that it's not the Chicago Bears out of a hell of a lot of money to be mediocre. The Miami Dolphins are giving him 10 million reasons to suck in 2017. Oh, you poor Dolphins fans. And you see this all the time with organizations. You saw this last year with the Vikings. Once Teddy Bridgewater destroyed his knee, they made a knee-jerk, reflex, reactionary move because they thought they were closer than they actually were, and they gave up a ton to get Sam Bradford, and the results were mediocre because ultimately Sam Bradford is mediocre. Regardless of whatever excuses you want to make about the supporting cast, ultimately Sam Bradford is who Sam Bradford is. And ultimately, believe me, after 8 years of living through the Jay Cutler experience, I can assure you he is what he is. He is a mediocre NFL starting quarterback. And it's just fascinating to me. Instead of a team giving a guy like Kaepernick a shot at potentially half or less of the money, and how much worse was Kaepernick really going to be, the Miami Dolphins bent over backwards to break the bank to give Jay Cutler $10 million to play. Like they're going to piece it together. And this whole notion of, well, he's going to Adam Gase, and he had arguably his best year with the Bears with Adam Gase. Let's keep in mind, he still didn't play all 16 games. He still didn't throw for 4,000 yards. He only had 21 touchdown passes. He had 11 interceptions, and the team didn't get close to the playoffs. So this whole media spin of, well, he's going to Adam Gase, and that's the best. Well, what the fuck does that mean? That's like comparing Fs and saying, my 50% is better than the 30% in the last test. Well, the F still stands for you fucking suck. You still failed. Jesus Christ. The stupid narratives that you're going to hear about this. And granted, the Miami Dolphins are a solid team. So having somebody that can be in there that you can count on, be reliable, be healthy, manage the game, could be appealing enough to the Dolphins organization to where they think they might make it back to the playoffs this year if they have that guy. Except, unfortunately, I don't give a shit who your head coach is and what type of quarterback whisperer he is. You signed Jay Cutler, who is none of those things that I just alluded to. Let me clue you in, Dolphins fans. Don't listen to the stupid freaking media that's going to try and defend this or try to talk about how this is a good signing for the Dolphins. Here's exactly what you're going to get. You are going to get a quarterback in his mid-30s who has always been a great physical tease, but ultimately a massive disappointment. You will have those in the media that will go to great lengths to defend the guy like he could do no wrong no matter what, even though your eyes clearly tell you that there's something wrong here. His teammates don't follow him because his body language is terrible. The way he conducts himself is atrocious. You cannot count on him every game because he doesn't play 16 games. The last time he played 16 games in an NFL season, ding dong dum dicks, is 2009. And even with that still, all the people that want to talk about, he gets under Adam Gase, it'll be the best he's ever been. The best he's ever been? There's still only 3,600 yards in terms of his 8 years with the Bears, 21 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, and a losing fucking record. You're going to see a guy that some games looks great, but other games, his team gets down by 7 or 10 points and he throws an interception. You're going to realize what Smoking Jay Cutler's going to be all about, because there will be no fucks given. You'll just see the body language sloop and it's over. You might as well stop watching because your team has no chance of coming back. He's going to make horrible decisions. He's going to lock in far too often on his primary target to where defenses can anticipate exactly where he's going to go. He's got good athleticism. He takes a lot of hits in the pocket, but his field vision again is atrocious. His decision-making is horrible. And while his athleticism is good and surprisingly good, it doesn't always necessarily translate into his consistency as a thrower at the NFL level, because you always come back to the mechanics and the footwork, or the lack of footwork in this case. When he's throwing it off his back foot, I don't care how much you hear about his arm strength, it doesn't matter. That crap's going to get intercepted time after time. So what you're going to have is a mediocre performance from a mediocre quarterback who people are going to think, because he's back with the quarterback whisperer 2 years later, all of a sudden at age 34, he's finally going to piece it all together. That's what you're getting. Now, you may end up still being able to sneak into the wild card round of the playoffs. You might be. Is that really worth $10 million, though? And is it worth all the headaches with Jay Cutler, especially knowing historical trends indicate over the past 7 seasons, he hasn't been able to start 16 games in any of them? What would make 2017 any different? If this was the case, you might as well have signed Colin Kaepernick and let Matt Moore be your starter, because he's been in the system longer. And you were 2-1 with Matt Moore last season when Tannehill went down. Why would you bring in an aging veteran who's always been mediocre a month before the season starts and think that this is a good freaking idea? Because ultimately, there's always an idiot in the NFL. I know better than everybody else. I can get more out of him. No, you can't. Jay is who Jay is, and he is now, thanks to the stupidity of the Miami Dolphins organization, $10 million richer. That could buy you a whole lot of Marlboro Reds, Jay. Rip them off. And you show them just what the Jay Cutler experience is all about in Miami this year.